Hey guys, welcome back to Coin Knowledge. So today we're going to be going over obviously what is happening in the markets. We're seeing a huge liquidity kind of black hole suction that we're seeing across all the different narratives of the markets right now, flowing into not only the Trump coin, but now Melania's, Trump, his wife's coin as well. So as always, if you guys get value out of the content here, if you want to stay up to date with what we're putting out, then if you guys could subscribe to the channel and like the videos, your support means a lot here. Now, obviously, we saw the Trump token, as we touched on in yesterday's video. It launched this last Friday and it shot up in price, whereas this video is not deliberately a Trump token video. Again, if you want to learn more about that, my thesis here, check out yesterday's video. But it cannot be ignored the fact that we are seeing a lot of liquidity flow out of altcoins into the two Trump tokens, with official Trump and official Melania. There's no denying that. So if you hold any quality utility plays where it's AI agents, AI, either even meme coins on Solana, chances are your positions in your portfolio is probably down right now unless you got in to Trump early on. But again, when we see these kind of events, like the last time we saw it was Dogecoin, we did see that followed by kind of a mini altcoin season euphoricness following that afterwards, because I do think once Trump does find its top, whether that's now or whether, with inauguration happening today, whether that's later on today, if Trump, does happen to have already topped and is now just gonna sit at these levels. Either way, whenever the Trump token does find a top, and what I mean by that is whenever this token stops running and hits its ceiling, I think then and only then we're going to truly start seeing the rotation of capital back into those altcoins that either people sold out of to get into Trump, or new people that got in, if they did make money on the Trump token, now they have that excess capital to get into those different altcoins. Now, where am I looking? Well, first of all, let's touch on the Melania, token here. It's getting a lot of flack in the space. I am also, of the belief that this didn't necessarily need to happen, as well. I think maybe this wasn't the smartest move. I think that they should have just left the Trump token. Whether that's a popular or unpopular opinion, that's my stance there as well. Now, full disclosure, I did not buy any Melania. I don't hold any of the Trump token. This is just my thesis. I could always be wrong, or maybe we'll prove it to have some merit behind it. Again, only time will tell here, because no matter what, if you had a thesis or any, thesis we had, a week, 2 weeks, a month ago, nobody could have planned for this Trump token launch. That was a huge game changer. I mean, obviously the markets are in a completely different state today, whereas they were last Monday. So that is just how quick things happen. You can never completely plan for the future of crypto. You just have to be reactive and always be taking profits as well, because this could be a top, even though I do not think it is, but that theory is also being tossed around right now as well. So as always, where do I think liquidity is going to be flowing into? Well, if we take a look at it, again, we still talk about AI, RWA, and gaming as the three top narratives this cycle. Nothing has changed for me personally as far as a conviction level here, but I do think, when we look across the space, we're seeing a lot of these, altcoins down right now. Now, again, I still think you have time until we see that Trump token put in its top and see a lot of that liquidity flow back down towards, these lower mid cap, low cap altcoin plays. I think that you still have time to get into some of these positions as they are still down. But, we saw before this whole Trump thing, this whole Trump mania over the weekend, we saw AI agents and AI still kind of being that forefront of a narrative recently. So I think that's exactly where I would expect a lot of the money to return back to whenever this token does find its top here. And as well as we're seeing RWA actually hold out. In my opinion, one of the strongest out of some of the top narratives. I think RWA is also going to be a narrative that, as we've been talking about for a long time now on the channel, picking out some individual ones as well. You can find those on the channel. But I think with Trump getting into office, I think RWA is definitely going to be a top narrative to be keeping your eyes on. Now, my thesis here is that whereas I do think liquidity is going to flow into the overall market, not specifically the Solana ecosystem, I do think that Solana, because the Trump token is on Solana, I think we're going to see a lot of the money flow on the Solana ecosystem, maybe initially, before flowing outwards into other ecosystems. And if we look at Solana, Solana right now, it is up still massively. It even got up to about almost essentially $300 earlier. Now, yes, I think the blockchain did have a little bit of a hiccup there with all the transactions here, but here's the thing: no matter what anyone says, I agree. I have a thesis that I don't think any blockchain was prepared for the amount of volume and attention that the Trump token brought in, because it's been doing billions of dollars in volume. Again, I don't think anything is going to prepare a blockchain to be prepared for that. That's just insane. Yeah, $42 billion in volume right now in the 24 hours alone. So if we look at the Solana ecosystem, now a lot of these plays we've been talking about for a long time now. One play is going to be interesting here that I'm going to bring to your guys' attention that we have talked about briefly in the past on another video. But if we take a look at the Solana ecosystem, now again, the thesis is not only for Solana altcoins to do well. I do think the money's going to flow across the whole altcoin sector. That is my opinion, but I do think a lot of people, if you think about it, they just onboarded, I don't know how many, but a lot of new, retail users on the Solana ecosystem. That's where they're going to have their money, their funds. They're going to be looking for projects, altcoins in the Solana ecosystem to maybe invest those funds into. And when I say they, I mean retail new investors or even existing investors that maybe sold their positions to get into the Trump token that is going to potentially return their money back into those projects. So if we look here at the AI sector, again, AI is going to be one of those top narratives. I do think that TARS AI is still, for me personally, the staple as far as one of the leading mid-cap AI projects on Solana. I think that it just, like a lot of things we're going to be covering in today's video, I think it's just getting beaten up way too much. Just today alone, it is down 23%. Now, obviously, we saw TARS AI here not even that long ago, around those 40-cent regions. I fully expect, personally, for TARS AI to take out its previous all-time highs of not that long ago. If you guys have to think, just even 7 days ago before the launch here, it was encroaching around those 35-40 cent levels, and now we sit at 26 cents. Fundamentally, nothing has changed with TARS or any of these projects. They are still solid projects. They're still updating, still building. They still have, as far as my personal conviction level, I still have conviction in all the projects we're going to be talking about today. So if you're looking for, potentially an entry zone on TARS AI, if you feel like you missed it at 30 cents, 40 cents, this is one of those opportunities that you could capitalize on. Now, obviously, nothing I say is financial advice, just giving you guys my opinion here of what I would potentially be looking at, specifically in the Solana ecosystem. Now, I can't go over every single Solana project that I'm looking at here in one video. That would be obnoxiously long, but we have made several videos on the channel. You can go ahead and skim through and see what my take is on some of those projects. Now, TARS AI, for a solid AI project on Solana that, in my opinion, again, is oversold, is one that I'd be looking at potentially. You have to think, if retail or all these investors that just got onboarded onto Solana ecosystem that have those funds, they're going to potentially realize that AI is going to be a hot ecosystem, and then they're going to be going and looking through the Solana blockchain and realizing, all right, what is some of the top Solana AI projects? And for me, it's TARS AI, and I don't know if it's going to pop up here, but we see even on right here on the face of CoinMarketCap, where a lot of these, new investors are going to potentially be going to. You see it right here, the AI architect ecosystem of Solana powered by TARS AI, tie here. So right here, some people think this is not a big deal, but that is marketing here. We see that. So they actually are being, pushed out to everyone that is going to be using CoinMarketCap, which is one of the most popular, especially user-friendly, maybe newer investor platforms to kind of track and look at what potentially get into. Most retail, they're not going to be using your DEX screener, your DEX tools, even crypto ranks. They're going to be using CoinMarketCap, CoinGecko. Those are the two most friendly for retail. So if they get on here and look, they're like, hey, well, I want an AI, exposure, and I have this money and funds on Solana. They're going to see, AI ecosystem powered by TAI on Solana. They're gonna go look at it. They're gonna say, all right, well, it's kind of a higher, maybe mid to higher cap. It's not some degen $1 million coin that they have to sweat over. It's listed on a couple exchanges already. I think there's more exchange listings to come on the horizon. So that's the the speculation and the thesis on TARS AI alone. Now, touching back on RWA as a narrative, I believe that RWA, especially with Trump getting into office with all the new regulations, I think RWA is just making too much sense as a hot narrative here. Now, if we look at Parcel, one that we've been talking about for the longest time on the channel, literally since last summer here of 2024. Now, recently we saw it get listed on Coinbase, and then obviously we saw it shoot up. If I go over the 1 year, we saw it shoot up to, you know, high levels here of about like 60 cents, around there, 70, 60 cents. Now, I do think 60 cents, you know, I think Parcel is another one that is just oversold. I mean, today alone, 17% down. I mean, you're going to be seeing a trend there. You know, we see before the meme coin launch that it was above these levels, you know, getting to that 35-cent range. Who knows, maybe 40 cents if this hadn't happened. And obviously, it just took a ginormous nosedive. Now, they are still quality. You know, nothing fundamentally has changed with Parcel. You know, they're that top, in my opinion, one of those top potentially for big upsides RWA picks on Solana. We know Solana is going to be a hot ecosystem. There's even a chance, you know, in my opinion, that, you know, if we're going to see Solana flip Ethereum, I think that is still on the table. You know, that's something we've been speculating on the channel all cycle long. You know, I do think that Solana potentially does have the chance to flip Ethereum. I mean, think about it. The Trumps, you know, the president and first lady, they're literally launching their meme coin on Solana. They're not doing it on Ethereum or any of these other chains. They're doing it on Solana, so that, you know, big money is flowing into Solana. Now, if we look at that, as Solana is a top performing ecosystem, Parcel as an RWA pick that, you know, same thing as Tarzan, you're going to hear that a lot in this video, is, in my opinion, oversold at 25 cents here. I think Parcel as an RWA play on Solana, top narrative, top ecosystem, makes way too much sense. So that's something I'd be looking at as well. Now, before this, again, we saw AI running before the whole Trump mania, you know, liquidity suction into his coin here. You know, we saw AI agents performing. Now, I'm not going to get into individual AI agents again in this video. That would be a little lengthy and getting into the weeds a little bit here. I'm just going to be going over some quick and easy picks here. Now, if we look at it, you know, we see stuff like Virtuals. If I can find it here somewhere, you know, Virtuals is on a massive dip right now. You know, Virtuals is at $1.6 billion in market cap. Obviously, we saw AI agents really take over in November, December, earlier this month as well. Now, Virtuals got to a $5 billion market cap. It is on base, obviously, so now it's about a more than a 50% retracement, actually right at 50% here. So, but again, this is on base. Now, I do think Virtuals is definitely going to make a comeback 100%. I do think that is going to be the leading AI agent platform, except it's on base. Now, they could always come to a Solana in the future. That is not happening right now, but can't rule anything out here. But if we look for a potential AI agent top platform on Solana, it is still, you know, undecided. You know, nobody has exactly been crowned the Virtuals of Solana yet, so that race is still going here. So two projects that I'm looking at that are literally competing, in my opinion, to potentially be that top AI agent platform launchpad ecosystem on Solana is Top Hat and Dacia. You know, either way here. Now, both of them extremely oversold. I mean, if you look at Top Hat, just today alone, it is down 40%, but they're still building. They have an incredible amount of agents already launched on their ecosystem here. I'm going to make a more in-depth video on Top Hat here in the coming days, so be on a watch out for that. But if we look at the Solana ecosystem, literally Top Hat was at $75 million, you know, a couple days ago, guys. I mean, $100 million, you know, before, you know, a couple days leading into this whole Trump mania. So if you were looking at Top Hat at 100 million, you're like, man, maybe I missed that, or if you thought there was upside there, now you're getting it literally 52% cheaper, you know, and nothing has fundamentally changed. They're coming out with their V2, you know, their upgraded platform here, which in my opinion looks extremely user-friendly and smooth. From what I've heard, I haven't launched an agent myself on Top Hat, but, you know, all the feedback seems to be pretty positive there as well. So if we look at Top Hat at a $45 million market cap, you know, this is one that I think is definitely slept on, in my opinion, at these current levels, because down almost 40% on the 24 hours, that's insane for one of the top AI agent launchpads on Solana. They definitely have the amount of agents launched there. The overall market cap of their agents and their platform is quite high. Again, more in-depth videos coming here soon. So have your eyes on Top Hat. Obviously, if you're bullish on AI agents as a narrative, I don't know why you wouldn't be, but Top Hat's one I'm looking at. Dacia is another one that kind of the same thing that we're seeing with Top Hat, down about 42% on the 24 hours, which is insane. We covered Dacia here a little while ago at about a $60 million market cap. Now, that was obviously before the whole Trump launch, coin launch. We were covering it right at about 60 million. I gave you guys my opinion saying that, I think this is going to, potentially run here soon. And it was, it was closing in on about 80 million. And then Trump's coin launched, and then it quickly got sold off because, again, the idea here in the thesis we're running all this off of is that people are selling out of their positions to FOMO, into Trump, into Melania's Trump's token. Who knows if Barron, the rest of his family might launch a token. So that's why I think you still have time until we see the Trump mania, go over with, kind of, let the dust settle, or we see Trump's token put in a top and see the sell-offs happen and see the liquidity go back into the altcoins, because fundamentally none of these have changed. They're still building, they're still updating, agents are still being launched. AI agents is not a fad. It is a hot narrative that I believe was only getting started here recently. I think we're really going to see the explosion of AI agents in 2025. That is my strong conviction here. So if we look at Dacia, again, not even that long ago, New Year's Day, this was at $130 million in market cap, and now it's at 30 million. Crazy. These are major discounts that you want to capitalize on them, at these times in the market. If you were able to get into Trump early on, again, if you made your money, if you made whatever X's you are, in my opinion, obviously not financial advice, potentially take those profits and put them into these strong, quality altcoin plays that are super down, super oversold right now, because when the market flips bullish again and we see that massive rotation of liquidity and money flow trickling back through the altcoins, I think we're going to see all these projects bounce back extremely hard. And again, not only the Solana ecosystem, but these are the ones that I'd be looking at on Solana, because I think obviously with all the money right now it's tied up on Solana, that's where all the money in the funds are right now. And I think that we're going to see Solana still go up from here. So when we're looking at it at AI agents, the two I'm looking at is Top Hat and Dacia here. Obviously, they're both down 40% today. So in my opinion, if you're looking for entries, I think these are great entry zones as well. Now, gaming has not been a hot narrative, and I'm going to bring this up briefly because I know that we talk about gaming quite a bit here on the channel. Now, full disclosure, I own OTK and a few of these positions. If you guys have been around the channel, you know which ones. But gaming to me is still a super strong narrative. Now, when we look at gaming on Solana, I would be looking at something, in my opinion, low cap. Now, yes, obviously this is risky. All of these plays are risky. Obviously, please do your own research before getting invested. But OTK here still making solid developments here, solid partnerships. Again, their exchange listings are lacking. They get a little flack on that, but they've already said that exchange listings are coming in the future. So if we look at OTK being on Solana, it's mobile gaming. I think OTK also, same thesis, down about 20% today alone. And I think OTK, for that low cap Solana gaming project, I think OTK is still that number one pick in my opinion. So again, going through the thesis here, when we look at it, Trump right now, if we look back at where Trump is standing, we're seeing it on a little bit of a dip, obviously, because, it took this giant nosedive after, Melania, I think I'm pronouncing that correctly, Melania put out her tweet here earlier today, launching her meme coin, which, again, that, I believe right now it's standing at like anywhere from a $5 to $10 billion market cap, so insanity there. But, Trump here is obviously on a dive. We saw it get all the way up to about $75 here, so completely insane in my opinion. Right now it is hovering around this like $40 to $45 range, so it could either go up again, maybe this is the top, maybe that Melania token release wasn't the best move. Maybe we will start seeing either people open their eyes and realize, hey, this is overvalued, or maybe with inauguration day, maybe this still does multiples from here. But in my opinion, would I be buying Trump now? Personally, I would not. Now, obviously, again, nothing I say here is financial advice. I don't have a crystal ball. This thing could go ahead and 10x. Today on an inauguration day, I'm making this video Sunday, the day before, on the 19th here for you guys. But this thing could still do some decent returns. But you have to realize that it is sitting at a $43 billion FDV. For this thing to even do a 2x, it has to go to an 80 billion or a 90 billion and onward. So I do think all the money, the majority of the money has obviously already been made. If you didn't get in early, I don't know if I'd be FOMOing in right now, especially when you look at all the different altcoins. Again, these are just some highlights on the Solana ecosystem. Go through, AI sector, go through RWA, even gaming. You'll find that a lot of quality projects are on a massive dip right now because we see that all these tokens are being sold off to flow into the Trump token. So again, guys, I covered it a little bit on yesterday's video, but I think now is definitely not the time to be, getting out of the markets. It's not the time to be giving up. Now, yes, anything could happen. These two, ginormous meme coin launches, they could potentially be a top signal, and that would be really unfortunate, but I strongly do not think that is the case. I still think we have a insane altcoin season in 2025 ahead of us in the crypto space. As always, let me know in the comment section below your guys' opinion here. If you agree with any of the projects that we covered today, let me know as well in the comments section. I try to answer all your guys' comments below. Or if there's other projects, whether it's Solana Ecosystem or not, that's on a big dip that you think is worth picking up, and maybe ones that you have your eyes on as well, comment them also. And if you guys got value out of the video here today, hopefully you understand where we're trying to come from here, letting you know that the bull market, in my opinion, is still on. It is not over. Yes, there is always that small percent chance, in my opinion, that this is a top signal, that maybe we are going to see the fund kind of cool off. But there's too many catalysts that outweigh the cons, in my opinion, or too many signals that indicate a bull season, an altcoin season that indicate a bear market and a top. So that is my opinion. Obviously, only time will tell. Again, nobody could expect or even plan or even fathom the idea of the president of the United States launching a meme coin. I don't care who says it. Nobody could have saw this coming, at least legitimately, as well. So either way, let me know in the comments below. What do you guys think? If there's other things you want to talk about or questions, or if they have individual altcoins you want my opinion on, comment them below. I try to answer all your guys' comments. If you guys want an optional way of supporting the channel, there is the Patreon linked below as well, or you can get into the Discord. Again, we have the private channels in there that get unlocked via the Patreon. And if you guys got value out of the video, if you guys could like the video, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and share the video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. All right, see you guys.